they were leading up to that ending where everyone's gonna find out that Bane is Batman, or Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Bane
is Batman.
Whoa.
Sequel.
That now.
And also, this is just like another thing throwing out there. I was watching Dark Knight again, and the whole press conference Harvey Dent has, where he's like,
I'm the Batman.
yeah, when he was saying that the night is darkest just before the dawn, and that's supposed to be like the Dark Knight is the night, and the dawn is supposed to be Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
But also, taking that part a little too, like, I don't know. But what he says after that, it's like, one day Batman's gonna have to do the crimes he's committed, but not to the madman, not to the villains, to the city. So the crimes he commits, he's gonna have to answer to the city. I thought that was like, thinking back at it, like,
He did with his death.
should've been like, what's up, bitches? Now you know.
But that's the whole. I feel like no. I feel like I don't want to. I feel like the common person shouldn't know Batman's true identity because that's
I feel
Batman.
like it gives it
He's
more
anonymous. Not many people know.
Yeah.
With other heroes, like Tony Stark, Iron Man, it's just like, oh, I'm Tony Stark, I'm Iron Man, the whole thing. But that's just Batman. You don't know who he is. He's the shadow. He's in the darkness. You never. Really, I mean, obviously the common person should be able to piece it together and be like, oh, Bruce Wayne, duh. It makes sense. Even in the comics, it's kind of like the same deal.
I mean, like, that's the thing, like, the comics and the movie mediums are totally different. Like, I get that no one's gonna pretty much ever find out that Bruce Wayne's Batman because the comics have to keep going. And, like, you found that out with Spider-Man in Civil War, how that totally backfired with, like, he revealed himself, and then they immediately regretted that decision and then, like, warped his universe in the stupidest way. I'm not gonna get into that. But, like, I realized that, like...
It's for another day.
Yeah. In the comics... That has to keep going, but the movies are different. The movies should have, like, he spends so much time building up as a real-world consequence, and I feel like in the real world, if someone is to continue putting all this energy, all this money, and doing all this stuff, and for the events that happen throughout The Dark Knight Rises, I feel like it should have led up to, like, everyone being like, he is Batman. That's just my personal...
I think you're giving Gotham citizens way too much credit. Look at the town they live in. I would be scared to drink water in Gotham City.
And like, look, they pulled the rich out and killed them all.
I mean, what's his name? Gordon's family. They hit the road after the Dark Knight, so they had it right.
Commissioner Gordon, not Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Just saying.
Yeah. What did I say? Did I say?
You say Gordon, but I'm just making
Gordon,
sure.
yeah.
Just clarifying. Yeah, they were like
Gordon-Levitt doesn't have a family.
Oh, orphanage. God.
That's messed up.
That's
I apologize.
They're fictional characters.
Yeah, right. No one cares. Anything else?
Closing comments.
I say closing comments.
Can I just say a couple awkward Morgan Freeman moments? Did anyone else realize where...
He's climbing out.
What?
He's climbing out and he barely
just
trying
No. You remember the part where it was towards the beginning, it's where Bruce first goes to Fox to talk about the how Wayne Enterprises is doing and how that has to be profits, and then he's like, these conversations used to end with an unusual request. And he's like, I'm retired. How about I show you some more?
He just walks into the book.
For old time's sake. And it's just dead stare. They don't cut away. It's just like the most awkward thing. I don't know. There were a couple awkward Morgan Freeman moments sprinkled everywhere.
I haven't seen it 4 times to analyze the Morgan Freeman moment where he stares.
Did you see his shoes? What the hell?
What was he wearing?
I was more concerned with the library door, the bookshelf opening up. I was just like, oh my god.
Besides that, like music, cinematography, beautiful.
Awesome.
Everything's amazing. I love the chant. I loved it. It was good. Also, one thing, I've been bashing it the whole entire time, one thing that I liked about it was when he was rising.
One thing he liked. Wow.
Wow.
He gave this movie, what, a 7?
7? I can still like it. I can still like aspects of it.
I like Never-Ending Story, but you just don't see me.
He was rising out of the thing, and then it was the last time where he actually made it. But before he made it, they make such a big deal about him trying to conquer his fears. And I don't know if like anybody else got this. Like when the bats came, I don't know if anybody else took it as like those were like legit bats because it's a pit. Yeah. But I took it as like a psychological thing because like bats were the first fear that he conquered, and now he has to conquer his fear of death. So like now that he's trying to face it, like the bats come back as like a psychological presence. Then he's like, I got this, and I felt like obviously it's Batman, so it's awesome, and like I felt it. I thought it was really cool. It was a nice throwback to the first movie.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about like the connecting the themes of the trilogy, nice throwback to the first movie with the themes of fear and bats and everything.
One more side note.
I loved it.
I honestly thought Roswell was still alive.
Oh,
that dream sequence hit.
Dream sequence.
You really
like-
think I died?
I called it. I knew he was alive. And then it was a dream sequence, and I was like, alright, now I look like a big idiot. Closing comments, Tom? Anything?
Besides all the gripes I have with it, and the plot is just really wishy-washy. There's a lot of stuff out there. There was still enough, like the performances and stuff like that, there was still enough to entertain me, to get me through to the ending, which is like
barely
getting through. He saw it 3 times, by the way. Just saying, but barely got through.
I feel like Dark Knight Rises won't hold up in the future as much as Begins, and especially The Dark Knight did.
You just said, how much did it make opening weekend?
It made more than the first 2.
I was just making sure if we
yeah.
got that. Okay.
But the amount
That's
of money
because
it
the
makes
hype
does not mean anything about the...
Money doesn't mean quality.
Just saying.
Because, I'll be honest, Avatar, steaming pile of crap.
Did not
I-
deserve
I-
it.
I-
Transformers
off
does
topic.
not
I hate
deserve
it.
it.
Off topic.
Anyway,
Alright, back on.
back
Closing
on.
comments.
But yeah, I give it a solid 7. Music, cinematography, acting, very brilliant. It's just the story, the plotting is very wishy-washy at times.
Alright, after hearing what I guess we've all said, I'll give it an 8.5.
Hey,
I know.
don't let me change your mind.
You threw out some good.
So you're sticking with the 7?
He's sticking with 7. I'll drop to an 8.5. I still think there's going to be so much argument on third one, second one, third one. What is better? What is not?
But that's with every trilogy.
That's with every trilogy.
You know, Empire Strikes Back over A New Hope over Return of the Jedi.
Hands down. But anyway, I'm going to stick with Rises on top and Dark Knight in the middle.
Not only am I sticking with Dark Knight Rises on top, I'm bumping up my original score to a 9.75.
Wow.
Oh.
Because this discussion actually made me realize that you can answer the certain plot holes with certain logic.
Certain different.
Applying to
I actually, you know
certain
what?
things.
After all this talk,
You know, I'm giving it a 10.
I think it's
I'm giving it a
9.3.
10.
I think we can catch a 10-15 show. And you guys want to
All right.
catch 10-15 show?
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
All right,
We'll see you later. How much was that?